Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our new normal class. Welcome to our third week of online class. But before we are going to start, let me first introduce myself. I'm Miss Crystal Jane Dicarion, your teacher in personal development. And now we are going to recall what was our lesson last week. Okay, it is all about Piaget theory and Colbert's theory. I have here a picture. What you have shown in this picture? Okay, it is all about from birth to adulthood of human development. Our objectives today's discussions. The first one is discuss the middle and late adolescence behavior. The next one is identify strength and weakness. Lastly, write a journal entitled Who Am I? And now we are going to discuss the chapter 2 entitled I've Got to Be Me, Self-Discovery and Identity. How well do you know about yourself now? If you will be asked some questions about yourself, can you answer them quickly? If someone asks you to describe yourself or share a slice of your life in class so that others can get to know you more, where do you begin your story? How are you going to respond to this query question, who am I? Some people can give straight answer to personal question or easily narrate snippets of their lives, but others may more not time to think about what to say to describe oneself. For others, the question lingers and finding the answer becomes a lifelong journey. The answers are unique to each person, yet all should lead to a pearl of discovery about oneself. Self-discovery is an essential personal task. It is a keystone to personal development. Knowing who are you forms building blocks to become the person you want to be or you are meant to be. What is a philosopher? Traditionally, he is thought of as a lover of wisdom, an intellectual who has devoted time to study the meaning of life, has contributed in the field of philosophy in areas like logic, ethics, metaphysics, epistemology, or theory of knowledge, etc. Philosophers were the first one who talked about change. During the ancient time, the idea that change is inherent nature had already surfaced. One great thinker who thought about it is Heraclitus of Ephesus on 530 to 470 before Christ. He is an ancient great philosopher who held that nature is a constant state of flux. Everything changes through time, according to Heraclitus. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man, according to Heraclitus. Understanding the middle and late adolescence. What is adolescence? It is a crucial period in the development of an individual. It marked the major transition stage that bridged childhood to adulthood. The middle and late adolescence is between the ages 15 to 21 age. This is the time of one's life that is full of excitement and challenges. For an adolescent, the world is expanding, exciting, and demanding of energy. A major hallmark of this period is the quest for identity and individuality through assertion of independence, exercise of personal decisions in relations to what one wants to be in the future, and establishing meaningful relationship with others. The question of these are, what do I want to be in the future? What course should I take? What job will fulfill me? Or should I study abroad? And lastly, I am ready to leave home. To answer the question, it is important to know yourself. Think about your interests, skills, abilities, and preferences now. As a take-off point, let us understand what is typically happening during the period of your life and let us see where you are. Changes and transitions, physical changes and body images. What is physiological? Most of the physical changes have already taken place at the early part of adolescence, which is roughly between ages 12 to 14. One of the reasons is the secretion of hormones by the endocrine glands. Hormones is a chemical substance that passes through the bloodstream to reach different organs and tissues. Hormones enable the organs and tissues to perform their respective function. As sexual maturation begins to take place as they grow up, the ovaries and testes produce sex hormones like estrogen and androgen that give secondary or physical characteristic signaling reproductive or readiness. What is physical? During the middle part of adolescence, a major growth spurt sets in, resulting in the individual distincts in physical characteristics. These are secondary characteristics as a result of psychological changes in the body. Generally, there are continuing gains in weight and height. The body mass increases significantly, improving your psychic. Body hair continues to grow. Boys become deeper and girls become more developed. This is the time when self-consciousness starts to peak. What is psychological? From that awkward feeling of recognizing the changes happening with your body, you now become conscious of what has taken place and what becomes with it. You become more concerned with your body image. Questions like this are common. How do I look? Am I overweight? Do I look good? Transitioning to the late part of adolescence, you already make a specific preferences on how you would like to present yourself. Maybe you want shorter hair than before. You decide to go on a diet to hit a desired weight. You may or you may not follow a fad. All these are attempts to help you set a specific identity. These are the helpful tips how to deal with body issues. The first one is prioritize health over beauty. Get help for unhealthy body if necessary. Avoid being critical of how you looked. Be yourself. Accept the God rather given gifts you have. The next one, look inside yourself and be your own inspiration. Love yourself. And lastly, appreciate your beauty and others' beauty inside and out. What is self-identity? Adolescence is the point in life when you ask who you are. This requires personal knowledge of your qualities that help define you. The distinctive characteristics of the individual are what we call identity. In psychology, self-identity is significantly related to one's overall self-evaluation or self-esteem and sense of individuality. There are two proponents of developmental theories who focused on self-identity during the period of adolescence. The first one is the Erik Erikson and the next one is the James Marcia. According to them, your identity gives you a sense of individuality. What is Erik Erikson's self-identity? According to Erikson, in the course of the psychosocial development of an individual, each stage holds desired outcomes after going through the specific crisis. Adolescence gives new and challenging experience that may pose some struggles as you balance things. As knowing clearly who you are allows you make better choices in life, engage with others, and establish healthy relationship with them. Erikson's identified two major crises in adolescence. The first one of these is establishing one's identities. Remember that as an adolescent, you are transitioning from being a child to becoming an adult, which possesses a lot of needs to adjust, given a lot of changes. Successfully navigating through life experiences leads you to a clear understanding of your identity and individuality. And knowing clearly who are you allows to make better choices in life, engage with others, and establishes healthy relationships with them. Identity versus confusion. Establishing a clear personal identity is important at this stage. You need to be clear of who you are. It sets the ground of becoming the person you want to be in the future. You need to know more what you want, your strengths that build your competence, weaknesses you need to overcome, and your interests that should help you make career plans. These are things you need to establish about yourself. If you fail to achieve this identity and confusion or role diffusion is consequence, essentially you become uncertain about yourself or you do not know what to do. Another situation is having too much conformity with peers when you are already going along with friends, failing to recognize what you want, or you stop to pursuing your own interest, you also limit your opportunity to experience things that allow you to know yourself. Failure to achieve a clear sense of identity leads to identity crisis, a sense that you do not know who you are. It is a stage of confusion that makes it hard for you to know what you want or make choices. It may give an awful feeling that you do not know your place or where to fit best. Consequently, your relationship with others may also be affected. You may have difficult connecting with them. If you are able to balance and navigate well through this space, you will achieve a clear self-identity and become well adjusted. Identity achievement is not a passive activity or readily given to you. You work on it, you make an effort to know yourself, you engage in the process. It's essential that you continuously reflect to think about yourself, what you like or what you want, your interests, what you can do, what you need to develop. Attending retreats and seminars also help achieve self-discovery and improvement as you get to learn more about yourself, pushing to grow. Identity crisis is a result of unclear self-identity. You are not sure who you are according to Erik Erikson's self-identity. What is James Marcia development of self-identity? James Marcia is an expert in identity formation, defines identity as an internal, self-constructed dynamic organization of drives, ability, beliefs, and individual history. He extended Erikson's theory on self-identity and identified the key elements in achieving a mature identity. Crises which present an opportunity to explore and commitment which keep you faithful in your beliefs and values as well as focus on identified goals, plans, or chosen career. He identified four status of youth which indicate identify issues. The first one is identity diffuse. You may not experience identity crisis. Neither have you explored what you want to do or want to become. Thus, you have not made any commitments. There is no focus on occupational direction yet. Your personal identity is unclear. In this case, when asked what career you will take, you do not have an answer yet or may not have a sense of urgency to discover where you are heading in life at this point. The next one is the foreclose. There is little or evidence of identity crisis. You have not personally explored or reflected things about you. Nonetheless, commitment is clear. Your choices, like course or career, have been parentally chosen rather than self-chosen. Aside from parents, significant others or peer pressure have influenced you. The next one is the moratorium. You are going through identity crisis. You are currently struggling as you explore areas that will help you know who you are and establish your authentic personal identity, the real you. You are exploring rules and testing your beliefs and perhaps flexible in your values. You have not committed yet on a particular endeavor. You tend to move from one job to another in search of the line of work that will suit them. This is what we call moratorium. Lastly is identity achieved. You have become to clearly understand who you are and have already decided on what you want. You know what to pursue in life and have established goals to direct your plans for the future. For example, you know the exact career you want. You have charted your plans. The college course you take, target colleges to submit application for admission. Even plans to review for entrance examination in those colleges. You make an effort to develop certain academic skills in math or sciences. Perhaps to make sure you have the strong foundation when you take major subjects in college. Some students do this by attending review or advanced classes. After graduation, you have already set your eyes in the particular companies where you want to work. According to James Marcia, crisis is an opportunity to grow. The identity status identified by Marcia are not sequential. They are independent of each except for moratorium, which is necessary to achieve a clear and mature. This is because being in moratorium sets your exploration stage, which is a good opportunity to find out who you are. Major test of an adolescent stage by Moose 1996. It is important to engage in personal searching, reflection of personal interests, values, or beliefs so that can personally own your choices and learn responsible. Social interest, emotional stability, and maturity level. As the world expands and you meet more people, there are a need to connect, a strong desire to be accepted or to feel that you fit in. While in the process of developing in your own identity and uniqueness as an individual, you want to be yourself. At the same time, you want to be accepted by others. Adolescents form many relationships at this stage, which widen social sphere and influences. Your interests are also expanding, oftentimes with the exclusion of family. You have cliques, sports group, pairs in class, and quality of relationship you share with them. It is the point when there is a need for maturity to be able to handle emotions well, express emotional reactions positively, and communicate feelings clearly for smooth interpersonal relationships. Maturity and emotional stability are important, especially when dealing with people and handling stress. Let us try looking at your immediate social network and influences. Freedom and independence. At this stage, there is also the desire for freedom and independence, which sometimes result in conflicts with parents and authorities. Having known more or less who you are, what you like to do, or preferences lead you want to do things your own way. Independence is one of the hallmark of maturity when carried are positively and with great sense of responsibility. You may think you are free and able to do what you want to do. You feel a great sense of power with capabilities, but as the saying goes, with power comes responsibility. Here are few things to keep in mind to help you stay on track. How to be independent. These are the helpful tips how to be independent. First one, be responsible or learn to manage time and money. Develop planning skills. This is how we are going to be a responsible one. The next one is know your limitations. The next one are remain respectful of adults and authorities, and believe yourselves. These are how to be independent in our own way. Career interests and inclinations. The middle and late adolescence is a period of preparation for adult roles which requires that you seriously begin considering what you plan to do in the future. Career exploration is one prominent task that an adolescent should engage in. What do you want to do? Knowing what your interests are, the type of things you like or enjoy doing well, give you an idea of all the kind of career or vocation you want to get into or may fit in you. These are the questions that you are going to question yourself. What are the career interests and inclination I have to take over? The first one is, what activities are interesting for you? In your free time, what do you usually do? In school, what subject are you good at? Have you put any thought in the future career? And lastly, given your interest, what future career do you think would suit you? Know thyself is a very old maxim inscribed in the temple of Apollo at Delphi. It dates back as far as ancient Greece, yet the advice remains alive and worth doing until now. In Greek, it is goti soston. In Latin, it is timid noce. After learning significant things about yourself, reflect on your discoveries. Under the title, Who Am I? Something to write about yourself, and affirm yourself. I know myself, accept myself, I love myself. And from that place of knowing, accepting, loving, I will grow. Of this juncture, our topic was done. Is there any question, clarification to our topic? If you have question, just go to our learning site. Please see our activities there. If you want to call me, just call my number 097527 or 0951 Okay, once again, thank you for listening and God bless us all. This is your teacher in grade 11, Miss Crystal Jane Dicarian, signing off.